episode 182. We're recording on a Sunday, which feels a bit funny, but we're here.
Day, fam.
We have we're joined by a guest today.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you the last time Dom was on the show, but Dom was releasing a book or something. He's doing a little press.
Yeah. A cookbook.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a while.
Yeah, this is part of a Sunday brunch extension.
Yeah.
Trust.
Just the Mandem segment.
Trust
Yeah.
me.
What's good, Dom?
Nothing, man. It's been a while, but I'm out on the socials again. Out on the just chatting to Mandem and that, you know what I mean? Come on.
The greatest there is.
Yeah.
For anyone that
but
don't know, Dom is on the intro, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Mr. Respect and Blessings.
Yes.
That's you still.
Yes.
Now you lot cut me off for intro still. I seen it.
For a bit, we chopped out quickly. On the podcast.
Okay, then we're there.
But I don't think on the thing, on the YouTube.
On the video thing.
Yeah.
They know who you are, because we usually record on Saturday, innit? So we always like, who got Dom's yesterday, blah blah blah.
Oi, let me talk about those banana fritters though, my G. Did anybody else get them?
Yeah, I got them.
Hey, what you say?
Come on, fam. I got the works, B.
I got them 2 times. And then I went
greedy you.
Sainsbury's. I actually went Sainsbury's. I'm not just saying that. I went Sainsbury's. I went Sainsbury's. And I just got myself a nice little. Did they have a discount on? No, I think I paid full price for Haagen-Dazs strawberry cheesecake, and we are fucking cooking. This is the perfect blend. It's brilliant.
That's a silly
thing. That's brilliant. Sauce still.
Yeah, I'm doing it again tonight as well. Come.
You sound like you're
what are you doing, fam? Yeah,
what's wrong? What did you say?
You sound like you're comfort eating, my guy.
Oh, do you know what it is? It's because I run bare miles and that. So you get me. You got to offset. The body.
Hey, you don't.
Shall we have a look?
Back on the calorie.
What? You've done more? What does that mean? You've done bare, yeah?
Have a look, Mike.
Cool, bro. If your name isn't Chris,
leaderboard. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. I hope you can all see this. One man's completed. There's someone there in second.
It's not clear, but no, we can see. Yeah.
Read out the numbers, man.
Yeah, 11k more. That's light work, fam. In 2 hours, it'll be like 5k more. That's light.
Rich, read out the distance.
Okay, yeah. So
on our 50k challenge.
We got Chris, who's finished, of course, because he's just a legend. In second place, you have me with 39.1 kilometers complete. This is over 50k challenge. Third place, we got Dan with 35.15. In fourth, we have Mike with 28.11 kilometers. Then we got Black J in fifth place with just under 20. He's got 19.97 kilometers. And we have, what's the date today?
We've got bare.
We've actually got bare long. I'm thinking in my head, I'm doing it because I'm doing another challenge as well.
Sorry.
For end of November, innit? So I'm trying to get everything done in that time. But
cool, man.
That's what it is, man.
You've got time, but there's some good distances there. You might have been putting in the work.
Oh yeah. I see Dan dropped to 10 the other day, so I just
I saw that.
Gotta motivate your team, man. Gotta motivate your team.
Dan pisses me off.
We're not pushing to each other. What we do?
Yeah. There's been times when I finished like a decent, like an 8k. I look at it. Dan's like 2k ahead of me, and I thought, I'm gonna stretch him an extra 3. Once we're running at the same time, but I like it. It's pushing, man. True say he's on furlough, but it is what it is, isn't it? Some of us are working weekends, so it is what it is.
All I can hear right now is excuses. But
I love this game, fam. Let's go.
Any other highlights from the Mandem this week?
Pretty dry week, man. Pretty dry week. I booked a couple of days annual leave, so I had Friday off and I got Monday off. I just had random days to take in it, so I just took some Fridays and Mondays off just to extend the weekend a bit, just to do nothing.
Self-care.
It's important, fam.
Because I'm on furlough, learning and doing new things. Cut my hair this week. Gave myself.
I was gonna say, you got a trim as well. You might do it.
No. I did it myself. It's alright. Like,
it looks decent
and shit as well. So yeah, man. Next week, who knows what it will be, man.
Did you have the trimmers and that there already, or was it like an investment? Did you?
No, hand me down.
These?
So was it upcycling or whatever? So yeah, they're in my property. They're in my care now. So barbers, yeah. I was telling Dom, it might be a luxury, you know.
For real?
It is
It
a
might
little
become
bit.
a luxury.
I think
Not essential.
certain man are picking up new skills. So yeah, barbers.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah.
Get back in. Yeah, spending X amount, whatever that might be, wherever you go to, every 2 weeks or whatever. But if I keep on like this,
He's saying for it to grow back.
yeah. That might be reserved for special occasions, I think.
Swear. So you do it yourself every 2 weeks?
I feel like, let's say there was an event that we needed to go to in the evening, and it had been 5 to 10 days since my last trim at the barbers. I feel like I'd probably just touch it up myself as opposed to going and spending. I don't want to say how much. Yeah. That might be it, man. But yeah, the furlough experience and learning is to continue. So yeah, next week I'll have something else. Last week was jollof rice. This week.
Oh yes, big up yourself still.
So yeah, next week, who knows what it might be, man. Might learn to swim or something.
Boy, that's a good one still, but that's tricky.
What was the process for the jollof? What made you want to do it then?
You know what? Every now and again, I just like something will come to me and I'll be like, I'm just gonna make that.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, it was, I think we had chickpea chana, which is like a Trinidadian thing. It's like a chickpea curry type situation, which is very nice. Said, bang, gonna make that. Popped out, got the ingredients, made it, bang, did that. Then I was just like, jollof rice, like I love it. I've never made it. I've never been taught how to do it. So I've got time. I'm just gonna make it. When I copped what I needed to cop. And
where did you get the list of ingredients?
Rest of the online thing.
YouTube. So I went on YouTube. And first I went on Google.
All right.
And then there's different websites, but I'm thinking I know who the author is, innit? I know the author. So then I said, let me see
BBC bite size in that.
Yeah. I said, let me see my instructor. So then I YouTube due diligence, and I was like, that's authentic.
And who was your instructor?
It was
where did they originate from?
The auntie, I think she was Ghanaian.
Big thing.
Okay.
But yeah, YouTube, bro. That's like that's the place that I can go to, and you can learn all sorts on there. So yeah, next week, man, it might be something new, fam. It might be something new.
Wow, what did you learn this week?
How to cut my hair.
Okay,
cool. And was that on YouTube as well?
YouTube as well.
You're a proper YouTube university, you innit? That?
Yeah, man. Like resources, fam, they're there for us to use. Can't be letting these things go.
I hear that.
So yeah, that's probably my highlight, man. New thing.
Been putting the YouTube thing for a locks thing. My thing's getting fucked right now. Oh man, the locks one's a bit techie still.
It's getting long.
You're getting there. Some real growth there still.
Richie was trying to do a mad thing with these locks, to be fair. You're trying to do a mad thing with your locks. You're trying to do the actual locking
thing. I was trying to I was shooting big, fam.
You could have exited them.
From the halfway line and that.
Hair start falling out and that.
Trust me.
I could have exited completely, but slowly. We'll build up to that.
No, because you just start again, innit?
No, fuck that, man.
That's fam, light work.
Fam, it's not light work, fam. This is the whole of lockdown, fam. I'll do it next year's one, innit? Whatever, man.
January.
Yeah, not another
one. They're saying about after December the 2nd or whatever it is, we're just gonna go back into tiers again, innit?
Yeah, new measures will be announced.
I think we kind of called that though, innit?
Yeah, but I think they're going to restructure the tiers because
they are.
The tiers are bollocks, basically.
Yeah, I think Boris is coming out next week or whatever, and just going to discuss the whole plan. So that'll be interesting next week.
Yeah, I can't see how much they differ from the tier system before, because I've seen that pubs will be open. The curfew for pubs
What is
will
it?
be extended to 11 now rather than 10.
Yeah, I think it's going to be changes
So
like
I
that.
just, I just think that's how different is that from previous. That's one thing, but I imagine there's more.
Yeah, be minor stuff like that.
That being said, though, am I linking up though? If this is the case,
if the law permits it, then
if
that's what I meant. Yeah, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're able to,
we're allowed. Yeah,
then why not?
Little 6-man table. Yeah.
Yeah, fam.
12-man thing.
2 6s. Yeah.
yeah, 2 6s put together. That it's mad.
But you know what?
Yeah,
and I guess I was gonna say one of my highlights was I ordered weights last week and the week before, and they came this week. So that's been my highlight. Been getting in a couple workouts with Sharif, who was on the podcast last week or the week before. I think the week before that.
A couple of weeks.
The week before.
Yeah. Been getting them in over WhatsApp, and me, Mike, and him did one yesterday.
Over WhatsApp.
Yeah. You know the
WhatsApp video call. Set your phone
up. Why is that funny, bro? I was like, what? It sounds spooky, like.
Yeah. WhatsApp cool.
But yeah, no, it's actually decent. But
yesterday was decent.
Yeah, having said that, lockdown isn't so bad anymore. I think before I didn't have the weights, I weren't able to, I guess, work out and exercise. It was a little bit like, this is dead. But being able to train definitely releases a little bit of tension.
Yeah, no, yesterday's workout was decent, man. It was an improvement on what I've been doing at home. I think just having like Mandem, who was doing it together and shit like that. Yeah, man, I rated it still.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, see, man, are harnessing technology, family. You gotta make a way still. What are we getting into? What's
the big story of this week? What shall we go with, boys?
I think it's got to be. Yeah, Rishi mentioned Sainsbury's, so
I think it's got to be
the first thing that we get into.
Sainsbury's ad, Christmas ad, might I say. I think we've kind of been covering Christmas ads since we started the podcast. Really, we talk about. I remember there was a couple of John Lewis ones.
Yeah.
And we always touch on it. I don't know if this is different because it's coronavirus and the year of Black Lives Matter, but this one's an interesting one and has gathered a lot of reactions.
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen the ad, I think did they just release one ad, Sainsbury's? I feel like there's another one. I feel like they may have released two.
I believe that there are 3 iterations of it, and this was the first of those 3, I believe.
Okay, the others released yet? Are they going to be released?
I haven't seen them. Yeah.
Okay, me neither. This is the one that is garnering the most attention, and that's because there's a black family.
All black.
All black. Yeah.
It's not the new advertising agency. Interracial black mom, white black mom. It's an all black family, and that's probably what upset a few people.
Yeah. So after people started to send their tweets out and all of that, and there was that thread that come out in it with all of them on there, which has been going around in groups. Yeah. Which is mad.
Firstly, what does anyone actually think of the ad? I thought it was okay. I just thought, I didn't think it was a cold ad or anything. It was just a bit like cool.
I thought it was good. It was a very homely ad, which you always get around Christmas, and it was something different to see. Kind of reminded me of like Christmases, younger days and older. So it's a bit more relatable, I guess, as opposed to like the previous years where it's probably something quite generic, or I guess a family that doesn't look like mine. So yeah, I was rating it, man. It's good. It's good to see change and good to see something different.
Yeah, do you know, I thought it was just a bit all right, but I had heard the backlash before I'd seen the advert.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I was expecting something kind of crazy. And I just thought that's so like ordinary. It was just very normal. I didn't really understand the problem. I mean, I don't, innit? I just clean don't really get it.
Part of it for me, when it comes to the ad itself, it was literally you could put any race and have the same ad, if that makes sense. So like, it weren't like it was a black family with rice and peas and bread or jollof and do you know, or whatever.
Like
it was
cultural or ethnic. Like it was
a normal, it was a generic advert that anyone could actually about gravy, which was weird because it's like, how can you?
Or maybe because it weren't Bisto.
Upset.
Maybe that's
it's mad. It's actually mad.
It's actually ridiculous. Some of the comments got them here. Where are the British people? What fresh hell is this?
That is so mad. What is that?
That one. What fresh hell is this? That's bad.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas
in capitals.
As another reason to boycott Sainsbury's. I wonder what the others were. Possibly the worst Christmas ad I've ever seen. Well done, Sainsbury's. I'll shop at Tesco's. Carry on being woke and watch the share price drop. Oh. You may as well rename yourself Blackberries. That's a good one.
At this point, all you can do is laugh.
Do you know what killed me? Yeah, I think Luke, shout out Big Luke, he posted something yesterday of a meme. And it said, if they pissed off with the Christmas advert, wait till they found out about this place. And there's a picture of that Singberries.
Yeah, I see that.
With the guy like
that. I guess for me, the advert is just good. It's good that there's representation for the diverse nation that is Great Britain. But again, I'm not surprised at the reaction. I think this year there's been a few examples of it. Whether that be people getting at like Marcus Rashford, Britain's Got Talent, people getting onto diversity. It's just been a crazy, crazy year for it. And I guess it shows that we're not, or the UK, as a whole, hasn't come as far as people like to believe.
Not there yet.
No.
Which is
that's probably the saddest thing for me, to be fair. It's like, I kind of knew, like I kind of had the inkling and kind of thought, you know what, this ain't as great as everyone thought, and it's like, oh yeah, racism's over, or it's not like in America and this, that, and the other, and we've just gone through the whole Trump thing with them, and it's not as bad as that, but now the hands seem to be getting shown more often than I think that I'm comfortable with. You know what I mean?
I think in the UK, and I've seen comedians say it, and many people have said it, is that the racism here is very subtle.
Yes.
And I think it only really creeps up when something happens that they don't like. Whereas I guess in America, it might be you get your Confederate flags on cars and outside the houses.
Yeah.
People are very vocal over there, but whereas here, you might meet someone at work and they're like, yeah, like we're cool. But then when it really comes to it, like the Sainsbury's ad,
something happens and people start to show their colours,
right?
Innit?
Exactly.
It's very British, isn't it? It's like
super British, yeah.
We're like understated. Like America, it's like Britain is a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's like America, it's very British way of doing all of this shit.
Do that
again. So yeah, I guess when it's like Twitter and whatnot, I don't know if people are in their little echo chambers, but they feel empowered, or maybe it's the anonymity. People feel empowered to speak more about this shit. But I kind of believe like what Dom says. It's like we think we've made progress, but then it's like every now and again, you're reminded that perhaps we have made progress, but at the very least, people fucking hate it.
You see, when you lot saw that, did you lot see the advert before the comments, or?
I heard the comments and everything before. So
do you think if you just saw the advert, you was fucking halftime, the advert comes on, would you think that you would think, oh right, that ain't a white family, they've done it with a black family? I think I'll just see it and I'll just.
It's
I'm
like
becoming
blank,
more
isn't it?
aware of it.
I would notice, yeah.
Would you notice it?
Yeah.
I'm becoming more aware of it. Like, and I've noticed, everyone's advert now is like, okay, we've got to have one of these, one of these, tick. So I'm more aware of it, but it's also like, it's not like something I'm celebrating as such.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, again.
Yeah. That's
what I say. It's like for me. So people are watching it, seeing the advert, and they're going, "Oh shit, that ain't a white family."
That's mad.
And then people are saying that it's how it's kind of positioned as it's the end of the world. Like they're taking over. It's like one
advert.
I think this year for the racist has been like the worst year ever. Like if you were like this, say Trump support, and even if you were over here, but you kind of liked what was going over there, you've seen him dethroned, you've seen this rise against racism to like a new scale. You're seeing companies get involved, and I think for a lot of people that think they're not racist as well, the people that think I'm not racist, I think they've like, I think a lot of people are reaching like a fatigue point, and they're just cracking, because I think on some level, whether they're conscious or not, they kind of know that more things are in their favor, and if things start to shift, it is the end of the world.
Yeah, there's I guess, and in my head, I don't know like, how to position this, but it's like, it's not, I wouldn't call it a loss. They're not losing, but then if
if
the other is gaining, you're losing your superiority,
then
privilege.
They don't. You don't want equality, I guess, ultimately, because now if we're both on the same thing and you feel like you're losing, that's mad.
Yeah,
for us to both be starting at the same is mad.
The net result is you're losing credit or equity in society.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's even madder for them as well, because it's the point of like we've discussed it quite a few times in terms of duality. So like they're not exactly racist, but they know that they're not racist, but yet now it's being highlighted that they're having certain privileges. It's being highlighted that there's not a lot of ethnicities on the telly.
Found out.
They're getting found out essentially, and it's like, oh, hold on a second, I'm not racist. Okay, yeah, you're not racist, but you do have some prejudices that maybe you need to address, but they don't really want to address it because obviously that will show to the outside world that they were racist, but they're not. Just, and I think it's hard for them to and I say them, whoever thinks like this, but it's hard for them to do both things, to actually say, okay, maybe I was wrong, and they rather just say, oh well, I wasn't racist, then no, I wasn't. But then it's more the people who are finding the empowerment to go and complain to Sainsbury's and go and outwardly say what they're saying, and it's like, whoa, like you know, everyone can see your Twitter feed, right? It's kind of mad, but
because to your initial point, would you not say that that's a good thing, that people are kind of clocking, oh shit, I didn't think I was racist or whatever?
Yes and no,
but
yes and no, because there's some people that will take it, like you said, and go, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that. And basically, a lot of people even now will ask questions and be like, oh, what, like, what, can I say this? Can I say that? I mean, was it last week you lot had the discussion on Clark, the colored thing?
Yeah.
There's those discussions happening. What can I say? What can't I say? Etc. But then there's also the closet ones, the kind of like, okay, I think all of these things, but I also know that I'm not racist, therefore you can't tell me anything, basically.
In denial thing.
It's conflicts with their beliefs.
It's a complex thing for them. And those are the ones where like we kind of have to bring them on the side of be open and ask questions and whatnot, rather than keep them in that closet. Otherwise they will go to the Trump side and the mad side.
Just as soon as they feel like they're blocked out, they're gonna just
exactly. I'm a victim now, so I'm going to where my buddies are, kind of thing.
I think it's got to be a difficult position to be in, you know. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it requires two things that are very difficult for people: admitting you were wrong, and then admitting you might be racist. That's got to be like the hardest thing to probably do, to even just to conceive. You don't want to think that of yourself. No, like, even unless you're out and out, like, fucking swastika on your chest and that. Other than that, it's like a difficult mental exercise, I think, for people
I hear you.
to partake in. So I think that's gonna take a while personally, but
especially when it's like their racism isn't their fault for some people, not an excuse for them, but like it's a case of the system itself has made them racist. So throughout media, like we're seeing now, we're seeing alternative media and people are vexed about it. That means what was happening before. Do you know what I mean? That it means that there wasn't any diversity before, and now you're seeing it, if that makes sense. So because it's just what it's just been in it, like your bosses has always been this, it's the same. So like now that there's some sort of change, they're thinking, well, we wasn't anything before, but you actually were. It's being highlighted to a case of.
Do you know what else is mad? Yeah, like Dom, you said about everyone can see your Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Bro, that's mad. Like, so man know that. Man probably got their picture up or whatever, a little bio. Man are still out there just saying wild things like.
Yeah. But then I suppose if their circles are doing the same thing and that's who they're following, and on top of that, you got the algorithms as well that's leading them into other people that's doing the same things.
On that thread, were their names on there? Or were they hidden? Were they just comments?
No, their names.
The names ain't on there. Yeah.
Okay.
But you could type that in on Twitter and find.
You can find
it.
But then there's also a lot of bots.
Exactly.
These little
eggs
and all that.
Yeah.
Dom and I was speaking yesterday. Yeah, we like Tom, 2,345 joined. Yesterday. So yeah, there's a lot of it going on. Sainsbury's, their response was, we want to be an inclusive retailer where people love to work and shop. We are proud that our advertising represents the diverse communities we serve, and this year's Christmas campaign simply reflects 3 stories of 3 different families celebrating Christmas in their own way. Sainsbury's is for everyone, and it's important our advertising reflects this. The negative response of a vocal minority won't stop us from representing modern Britain.
Fair enough.
Fair play. Yeah.
They played it fairly well there. The advertising watchdog, the ASA, said it won't be investigating the Sainsbury's Christmas ad, which means that they received a bag of complaints from people who were
so mad,
rattled.
Nuts.
I guess it goes back to what you lot are saying. When like things challenge your worldview, that's hard. It's like an internal conflict. So the people that are seeing this, it's like everything should be white. But then it just takes a second for them to just think, oh, maybe this is how Black people have felt since they've been in the UK.
Right.
That's easier said than done, I guess. There was also the Tesco advert as well.
Yeah, go on.
So a model who was supposed to be in one of Tesco's Food Love Storage Christmas ads, she went online this week and said that she's been cut from a scene featuring a Black couple. But then Tesco came out and defended their decision.
Oh, so they responded.
Oh, okay. So so it's official. They actually done that.
It appears so, yeah.
Well, what did Tesco say?
So there is an article here, which I'm just going through, but there's a part where she says, I'm always the token Black girl and I always have a white husband. So to be cast as a dark-skinned couple for the new Tesco commercial, I was so excited. I've never seen that before on UK TV screens. And it was from Tesco's Food Love Stories campaign that was released in October. And it's not a Christmas commercial, as some Twitter users assumed. Tesco said at Tesco, we believe that diversity in our business makes us stronger, and our advertising campaigns are designed to represent everyone, showing the breadth of the communities and customers we serve. Our Food Love Stories campaign has featured many stories from people all over the backgrounds. We were sorry to hear that Vanessa was unhappy with the way our advert was edited, and we immediately reached out to her to explain the reasons and process behind this decision. So they've defended it, but they haven't explained why.
Why? They said that they've explained to her.
To her, yeah.
But they've not put it out there, so she can if she.
She said, I guess she's not come out and said anything.
She hasn't. I haven't seen anything from her, which comes out and said they probably said to her, "Hold this little this little brown envelope.
Deactivate your account for a couple weeks, little month or so. Yeah.
Go quiet, and we're all good.
But so she didn't make the final cut.
No,
she's not in the advert.
Yeah.
When you lot told me about this story, I thought, what if she actually just didn't make the cut? Like,
so, sometimes in and sorry, Dom. Yeah, that was my initial thought. In when, like, we see it with films and stuff where there are loads of scenes, but whatever we see isn't everything that's been recorded.
Exactly.
Certain things get cut out. I just coincidentally, it just happened to be a black couple that was cut out of it. So it will make you question, or if you are in it, it will make you question things because you were there.
It's the timing as well. The Sainsbury's thing just happened.
Yes.
I was under the impression that Tesco's deliberately cut them out.
In reaction to?
No, believing that it was going to cause backlash. I don't know where I heard that.
That's her line of thought, yeah.
That's her line of thought. That makes sense to anyone?
I think it would be too soon, probably, to...
Too soon how?
Oh, sorry. I'm pretending as if the advert aired the day after the Sainsbury's, but she'd seen this prior to.
Yeah, it would have been months
before. You and her, you might have a point.
Because I don't know where I heard that, but I was under the impression that they were like, this is going to cause
uproar.
They know what's going to happen. I mean,
it's going to chat.
It's quite obvious to me as just someone who, you don't even have to be on Twitter. Just look at the stories that pop up. Like, you can, all right, so let me ask you this. Do you think Sainsbury's had a feeling there was going to be some backlash to their advert, but said, we don't business anyway?
100%.
Yeah, I think 100%.
Yeah, of course.
So then do you think it makes sense for Tesco's to avoid that?
I think they're bottlers. Why would you casted them as well?
Yeah, I can see.
You paid them.
Yeah.
Do you know
I don't
what they could have done? They may have been trying to test the waters. So we've got the edit. We can re-edit this, slip it back in if we need to or not, or like release 2 edits. So one version you'll see a white family, one you'll see a black. Yeah, I guess it could have been like a tactical decision.
This one, we don't know.
Yeah, I guess for Tesco, it's easier to battle that couple if they come out and speak rather than battle a whole nation.
True.
Like Sainsbury's are having to.
But then at the same time, it might not actually be... so like, let's say Sainsbury's released their advert and then Tesco knew that they had that advert on the back burner. They didn't want to see it as, we're catting...
now we're doing that.
Do you know what I mean? So there's that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because it's a black couple. That makes sense. But then at the same time, even if it is, and they thought, well, we don't want backlash from customers like Sainsbury's did. I think at the same time, same like Sainsbury's, they took the risk because they know that regardless of people saying they're going to boycott Sainsbury's, they're going Sainsbury's the next couple of days.
Tom, I was going to wait for you to finish, and I was going to say that.
They're not boycotting. They're saying it, but they're getting shopping.
Do you think that?
100%.
All right. Let me ask you this then. Who do you guys usually shop with?
Aldi.
You have your next man doing the shopping now.
Go on. Sainsbury's, Morrison's.
Asda and mostly Tesco.
I was about to say, someone's got to be at fucking Tesco.
Tesco, You're Tesco, innit? You're Tesco, innit?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm Sainsbury's, man.
Okay,
Club, but by the way, club card points are shit. Like compared to nectar points. The nectar points are so much better. The nectar thing's cold. The nectar thing's cold. So just off that alone,
you're paying more though in Sainsbury's, but this is another thing.
But you're giving more as well. You're giving more back, and it's higher quality. Taste the difference. All of that. But what was I going to say? Oh, as a result of this, would any of you, well, I'll ask Les because he says he shops there. Would you not shop in Tesco's now?
No, as in I'll continue to shop in Tesco.
You're not going to reduce it, nothing. You don't business.
No.
Fair enough.
I don't think. I think
you're a pagan, by the way.
If I am, then I am. I don't think all I can go off of is her word versus theirs, and Tesco have come out and said it, so I guess there is truth in it. But for me, I don't feel like it's a big enough reason to not shop at Tesco. I think if Tesco would have to do something like nuts for me to be like, I don't really want to associate.
That's not good enough, basically. That's not
it's not
boycottable offense.
It's not that, right. It's not that it's not good enough, because it's something that needs to be questioned without a doubt. But I think there's bigger things that we need to give time and energy to, rather than being cut out of an advert. I don't care I don't even watch adverts. I saw the Sainsbury's one by accident. For me, it's not that deep for me to boycott.
I hear that.
There probably will be a minority that won't go back to Sainsbury's, maybe, or maybe for the time being, but the majority still going, bro, and doing their online shopping, and the man comes.
Exactly.
So you can't get seen there, but walk your van down the
road.
Change the bags and that.
Yeah, watch when
look at that Sainsbury's with Tesco's
black bags.
Yeah, love it, bro.
Rich, does it make you want to shop in Sainsbury's more, like that now they've stuck with the all black family? They've stood by their thing. They said, this is what we're doing. You lot get on board. Like, for you, does that make you feel
I don't think it's gonna make me shop at Sainsbury's more, no. But it makes me think. I feel kind of vindicated in my choices. I'm like, okay, I picked the right horse, almost, kind of thing. And I mean, to be fair, I only go Tesco's like when it's, because Tesco is closer to me. You don't know, Tesco's literally down my road. I only go in there to grab a few bits. If I'm doing an actual shop, it's 100% Sainsbury's. So as Les said, I don't think it's going to make me shop there less, because I don't shop there that much anyway. But it's not gonna make me shop at Sainsbury's more either. To be honest. But I just be like, okay, I'm giving these lot my money. I just feel like, okay, well, I'd rather give you my money a bit more now.
Yeah, I think how much of an affiliation do you have with the supermarket for you to be like, I'm not going there anymore?
Exactly that.
I just, I think it's a bit.
It's got to be what they offer as well, isn't it? Yeah. Just in general. If I can't buy certain things, I want.
As Les was saying, it's not a very. Les didn't say surface level, but he said there's bigger things to worry about. So if people want to look at the composition of the workforce and composition of the board,
right? Exactly.
How diverse is that? Then you probably start. Okay, you've thought about this, as opposed to saying in this year of 2020 or this month they didn't have an advert which featured a black couple or whatnot. Now you're saying I'm not shopping there. It's a little bit it's a bit performative as well.
Optics, man.
What are you gonna do? Change every year? Like every year they're gonna change the
whoever.
That's dead.
And I think sort of, and we probably discuss this every other episode, but it's not so much of a big thing of what I want to say in terms of like. I think she might have been a little bit too quick. I don't know that we need to know the reason, but I think she might have been a little bit too quick to jump on the socials and say that they've cut her out for whatever reason. I can't remember what the tweet said. If she hasn't come out and justified that, or justified their reasons for it, I assume she's okay with it.
Yeah, she needs to free that up.
So maybe she should have reached out to them first and said, "Yo, I've noticed that I'm not in the advert anymore. What's the deal? Blah blah," and then just take it up with them. Maybe it's raising awareness. Maybe that needs to be done. But like Dan was saying, I think look at the workforce, look at their policies. Those things are the
how
things.
they treat suppliers.
Exactly. Those are the things that we need to jump on the socials and call them out if they're doing wrong by those people, by the people. Yeah, not being in an advert.
Or she just thinks whatever they told her is just bullshit.
But she hasn't said anything, has she?
Yeah,
hasn't said anything since.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a case of.
And I think this is again different discussion. This is the problem with when you first make an allegation or say something. We need to. Everyone feels obliged to know the whole story when it really it's none of our business, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, you better tweet what they said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Send us a picture.
It's when it's totally on her. But I guess we've got a month and a few days until Christmas Day. So let's keep an eye on the forthcoming adverts and the makeup of them, because I feel like
how have we got here though, man?
Say that again, Dom.
Where Christmas adverts is the come on,
pinnacle of
Christmas. Yeah, like why is that the main thing? Bro, there's so many other things that we could discuss on here for hours, and instead it's a Christmas advert from Sainsbury's and Tesco.
But we kind of mentioned
it's mad. It's mad.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it
I suppose
on the previous episode where I think it's just the time and the year that we're in. I think everything's like super sensitive. If something don't look right,
everything's heightened.
It's gonna be
everything.
It's gonna be on the headline. I honestly think for the Sainsbury's ad would have always caused or raised some questions and some eyebrows.
Something, of course.
Yeah. But I think being cut out from an advert, I think that probably happening 2, 3, 4 years ago might not have even made Twitter or wherever.
And yes, social media, man, makes it seem so big as well. Like we just said, it makes it so big. But then, like Dom just said, when we actually deep it, we're talking about like just one Christmas advert. Is it going to be that every single advert now or every Christmas?
And you know what? Yeah, I'm also on the other side of the coin that it's good that people feel empowered to speak up about these things at the same time. But then I also agree in that so I understand the model on her. Cool. That's
of course. Yeah.
You speak on it. But for Twitter and I guess everyone as a whole who's complaining, we need to be consistent and complain about real issues. Housing and jobs and
we'll be here forever.
Guidelines and stuff like that. Like if you're really in it,
be about it.
Things as opposed to these,
don't be silent and then get up in arms when this happens.
Over things which have less of an impact.
I suppose it's the easy thing to do as well, though. Like if you feel like a real warrior when you're there riding for the.
It doesn't take much reading.
It's like okay, you know what? Let me just put. I'm not going to Sainsbury's and then go say or Tesco's and I'm gonna. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's empty, man. It's empty. It's this new age, I suppose. But
new age activism, fam. What else we
got on the agenda, boys? Maybe that picture that you put up, Dan.
Oh yes. So I follow a few different financial advice or financial tips. Call it advice because they say this is not financial advice. A few different pages talk about finance and economics and whatnot and how you can improve that in your own life. And I follow one called the Penny Pal amongst others. Decent page, few good tips on saving and investments and whatnot. And it's in a very well broken down, bite-sized way of like digesting these things because I know a lot of the time, for me previously, finance was just scary and just like, where do you start? But that's one of the positive sides of social media. So they posted a comment from one of their followers, I believe, who said, would have been helpful to learn more about money in school, but it's really the parents' job. I had to learn it myself. So they screenshotted that, posted that to their page, then they launched a poll, and the poll said, where do you think responsibility lies when it comes to financial education, schools or parents? You decide.
I don't think that there's it goes.
You're going to read it. You're going to say the results.
And the results, sorry.
go on.
of the poll said schools 57%, parents 43%.
Interesting.
Okay.
I wouldn't just say it's just one of them.
Yeah.
Definitely both.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit part of yourself as well. So maybe schools, parents, and then I guess your own learning or whatever. But definitely as a start, schools should do more. I think schools should do much more other
For a lot of things.
But but definitely.
Do schools do anything at the moment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like
Not
that.
that I know.
Like, did you hear anything about money or anything in schools or?
Not one thing. Not a
Like,
jot.
so my opinion, when I saw it, I was thinking definitely schools, because reality is we learned Pythagorean theorem and all of these shapes. And
I think about that daily. Every time
you know what I mean? Like, bro, like
theorem.
You don't know nothing about taxes, about pie, all of that stuff. Don't know nothing about credit cards and interest. Before I worked in a bank, I had no idea what any of this stuff. Like, I had an idea, but not the depth that I know.
I didn't understand what a mortgage was until late in my life.
Right.
I didn't get it
until you had to get one.
I still don't understand it.
Right. So this monthly payment, what's it for?
Yeah, who's this guy? But it doesn't make, like, if you're a kid, then someone says, "Oh yeah, this house is £500,000.
Yeah,
got to get a mortgage." What does that actually mean? Like, I was back for a long while, fam. Not afraid to say it.
Yeah, schools should do more. At what age should they start doing it in school? What, like year 10?
I think primary school you should learn. You should be learning about things like saving.
Early.
Because even as a kid, you get pocket money, and it's probably part your parents, but you get pocket money. How am I going to spend it?
Yeah,
that's kind of the idea. Like, I'm going to get money. How quick can I spend it? What can I spend it on? Whereby if it's instilled in you that you get money, let's say save half of it all the time. That's just like a change in thinking, and I think would help going forward. So I think start young, man.
Okay. Having asked this, I guess it's asking school or parents. What financial education have any of us had?
YouTube.
And that's where have we actually learned any of this? Like,
I was gonna say, Rich. So like Dan was saying, that you should start at home, kind of thing, or like in terms of me personally, it was a case of like when I was a kid. Let's say I was given like a couple £1 or something to go to the shop, like. That was your education, as to you need to go to the shop to buy things, if that makes sense. That sounds very basic, but even that you don't get taught in schools. You just have, primary school, they play in little kitchens and shopkeeper and all that sort of stuff, but they're not actually taught how the transaction works, and that's just on a very basic level. But like, I say schools because obviously I was lucky enough to have a parent to give me pocket money to do that. Whereas there's going to be loads of kids in disenfranchised areas that don't have that at all. So that their parents already messed up financially, whether it be through debts and whatever, and they didn't have the education. So how can they give education? Do you know what I mean?
That's why it's definitely got to be both.
It has to be both. It has to be both. And but then even though we say it's both, it can't really be both from now, because you've got bare parents that know nothing about finances now. So I mean, it has to be from.
It has to be school. It has to be
school, and then when they grow up, they can then
right. So
where does the responsibility lie? Like, so is it if you have to choose, like, who's responsible?
I'm gonna go school.
School should be teaching you. If I put my conspiracy theorist hat on, I feel like they don't teach you on purpose.
Rich, I was just gonna say, why do you think it's not taught? And then that's like a whole nother.
I guess it's I don't know, man. I think like these ideas we often have about being rich, millionaire lifestyle, and wealth are like well-guarded secrets. Like, I feel like for the most part, we're not. It's almost like the idea is like when you're not supposed to know these things.
Exclusive clubs.
Yeah, because I mean it's a minority club as well. Often, a lot of people that have, say, become wealthy or whatever, they usually have like a mentor, and that mentor has stepped outside of that community that they're in to do some charity work, really. Like it is, a lot of it is, it's well guarded. It's almost like a secret society. I feel like it feels intentional for that we're not taught at school, if I'm being honest.
This is why I kind of asked, at what age should you start and what year, whatever, because I don't know, they might be like, well, these kids ain't got P anyway. They ain't got to worry about shit right now anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, if you got a bit older where you might get like
a
part-time job or whatever. I don't know.
You have to learn. I think you often have to learn these things before you have them, ideally.
Aware of them at least.
Yeah.
Man, you like Dom's on the show about cooking. You learn to cook before you can really cook, or you can like buy food and stuff, innit?
Yeah.
So I think the education needs to come before you're like in it. Like, you train before a fight, innit?
Yeah, it needs to be rolled out into like, what was that, PSHE class or whatever that was.
Social health and social.
Them meaty classes, fam.
Yeah, them
up it a bit. Yeah.
Them classes were so like. Did you some of you done business here? I'm imagining. Did you learn anything about money management and stuff like that in business, or was it in terms of, if it was taught, you kind of say no, but was it in terms of how to run a business as opposed to your life, because they're completely different as well?
And I think to enrich your question as to why they don't, I think off the basis of it, it's just something that can't be graded. I think financial literacy and learning about finances in the terms that we're talking, they're more like lessons, and like Dan said, tips and advice. You can't grade what someone says about savings. It might be different from what guy or woman B says about savings. So there's no, I guess, clear, definitive, right or wrong answer to it. So for me, that's why I think they don't teach it in schools, because you can't really grade it. And again, to your point, that it is a little bit of a secret, as in only a select few will ever really know about financial wealth or understand savings or stocks.
I disagree with you quickly there, Les, though. I think you can grade it. If you can grade like English, for me, like when a lot of it's like creative writing,
I did think of that as well.
It's not like a science like that. I think financial literacy is more of a science, like maths or science, like where there are right and wrong. I think you can grade it.
No, but that's why I said it should be in them PSHE classes, bro. You just learn about it. You don't have to take a fucking.
It could be its own class.
But then if it's its own class, what you need to take away something.
PSHE, blood. It might be the most it's arguably one of the most important life skills. You should definitely. It should be important. It should definitely be its own lesson, I think.
Just adding on to what because you posed the question, Rich, where did we learn any of this stuff, like in terms of finance? And me personally, like I said, from back in the day, but then also when I worked in the bank, I definitely saw a difference between people who were taught certain things and people who weren't. So things like your loans and credit cards and that, you'll get people from whatever the word is politically correct for them, but people from ends will come in and be like, okay, I don't want no credit cards and I don't want no loans. And you'll be like, okay, why? And they're like, oh, because they're bad. And it's like, okay, why? And it's like, oh, because my mum and dad said that they were bad. And it's like, you're like, okay, but do you know anything about credit? No. So you have bad credit now because you don't borrow anything, and you don't, you know what I mean? You don't borrow, you don't have anything to boost your credit. Whereas then you've got other people that were wealthy that will come in and be like, yeah, I want a credit card. I don't need it.
Give me all the loans and all the credit.
Yeah, give me this and that. Like, but I'm not even going to use it. I'm just trying to boost my credit. Do you know what I mean? So then you have another person come in from ends and be like, oh, I want to get this loan. I've never borrowed before. Obviously, you're going to give me everything. I'm like, nah, bro, sorry, you ain't got no credit. So, do you know what I mean? Your credit history is not good enough. But they're like, but I ain't borrowed nothing. Yeah, maybe you should have, because that would have, do you know what I mean? And it's mad explaining to someone that you have to borrow money and not have to use it to boost your credit when you don't need it. Do you know what I mean? It's like them little things there.
It's kind of mad when you say it like that.
That needs explaining.
You know what I mean? It's a clear difference between the different classes that will come into my my office, and I'll explain things to them. And bear in mind, it's a non-advised service, so in truth, I'm supposed to tell them, yo, I can't advise you, bro. So do what you're doing. But as a person who knew that I knew nothing when I walked into the bank, I have to be like, at least steer them in
it's the right
educational thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit mad. Like, because
morally, that's
nothing.
Yeah.
You know nothing at all. People are big people now. There's people in our group that don't know much about things. Something like we still have to go to Jamie for mortgage advice because he's the guy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we need these people around, and I suppose if we all knew that information, that puts certain people out of a job. So it's kind of it's a bit mad at the moment.
Man. I'm leaning towards schools. For me, because parents. The parents wouldn't have been taught. So what can they teach?
Where's the broken link? Where's the link? The fixed link in the chain, so to speak. We'd
have to assume that all parents magically
know the right answer.
Financially literate, whereby if you put it in the curriculum and say you have to learn this, you have to know this and that. I think that is better, and you can hold them accountable more than parents. I think, whereby it's written in stone.
Yeah, I think for me, when I first read the question, I had an answer or had a thought, but having heard everyone speak and some very good points, my answer's changed a bit. I would initially said parents. But having heard what you man has said, I'm leaning to, like Dan said, I'm leaning more towards schools. I think you just, as a child, you spend most of your younger years at school. You're there for the majority of the day. And I think the biggest point that someone said initially was that parents, like Dan said, they wouldn't have learned beforehand. So I guess if you take their information, and some parents have the right information, but the problem is that some don't. So in terms of, like Dom said, with the loans, I heard credit and loans and this and that is bad. Well, why is it bad? Because mum and dad said they're bad if they're used incorrectly. Yes. But they can also, right, exactly. But they can also improve your life in the future. So I definitely think schools, to answer Mike's question as to what age, again, I think like early on, man, the earlier you teach and keep teaching it, the more it becomes this instilled in that child as times tables do, or how to do long division or whatnot. The more you drill it in, the more it becomes a part of life. How man learn English, how to write, how to speak. It should all be a part of it.
I still I'm of the belief as well. I say schools, but like you brought this child into the world,
of course. It's definitely it's both, isn't it? But you're just saying how does it start?
Both. I think schools teach how can I put this? Schools are like the math side of it, as in there's a right and there's a wrong answer, whereas parents are the science side of it, in that there can be different ways to get one answer. Or the English side of it, there's different ways to get one answer. In school, you should learn about credit, learn about mortgages, learn about interest rates, learn about compound interest, taxes. But then when you come home, that should be the place where, right, you're getting £5 for the week. How are you going to spend this? You save half, or you want to save more, or however you choose the practicality side of it, the practical side of it. I think is what should be taught at home. Whereas school, you learn about savings, or what it means to save, and what a fixed interest account means versus variable, and what all these different
theory and the practice kind of
At the age of 31 now, not up until a couple of years ago, man was reading up on what variable this and what this and that means, and I've had to learn that just on my own, just because finances in the past weren't great, just because of not being
not knowing,
not having a financial literacy that.
Les, quick question.
Yeah, go on.
You said you've been learning. How have you been learning? How have you been getting that information?
Through Mandem. the stuff that man post in the groups. I read, talking to friends, talking to man that are doing things that I find interesting. Like we spoke about in the topic before. Fam, YouTube, cuz.
Right, there we go. That's a big thing. That's a
YouTube
big
University,
thing.
yeah.
I set that up on purpose because I'm thinking
you got to be careful the classes you take. But
yeah. There's that too. There's
careful.
The reason why, sorry, Les. The reason why I asked was because obviously our parents, or definitely our parents' didn't have YouTube or didn't have the internet to load this stuff. So we're in a position where now, like, we're kind of privileged enough to be able to educate ourselves easier. Not that they couldn't educate themselves, but it's easier for us to do it. Then we can pass down that knowledge. So we can't really get onto the generations too much older than us, because if especially when Richie's posing the idea that it could be a setup that we're not supposed to know this stuff for some sort of reason anyway, there was no way for them to actually get that information until
if it's been hidden from us,
their
generation, they were being told that
blind.
Proper.
And we're growing up in a time that we like to think is inclusive and we all get along, whereas their time, we're letting you know that we don't get along, so we're not giving you this information.
Exactly that. Exactly.
So to your point, you can't really, not to say that anyone does, but sometimes you think, I wish my parents taught me this and wish they taught me that. Where when you look at it, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, that shout out to Pab, and he's always said this, that our parents lost. And into his term is in terms of,
you see when he says that, that one, it hurts.
When he first said it to me, it was like he was disrespecting my family. So when he said it in my head, I was like, yo, slow down.
I'm running corner, fam.
But when you broke it down, I was like, you know what? You're actually making perfect sense.
Explain that a bit more to me, please.
And I will.
Parents lost.
So in the term we were talking about property. So in his terms, he used it as there was an opportunity somewhere in their younger years or wherever that they could have had the chance to invest in a particular property or invest in stocks or shares or do something that would have financially put them in a better position that they are in now. But due to the illiteracy and not knowing and not understanding, or someone not even teaching them, they missed out on that opportunity. But whereas for us, like Don was saying, we've got YouTube, we've got friends, we've got all these books and resources that we have at our disposal, that it's easy to lose, but you shouldn't. If you want to win, there's ample opportunity and time resources to do so. So not to say that our parents lost in that they're failures and they ain't done nothing great. They just missed out. There was an opportunity that they were none the wiser that was there, that they missed out on. So when he said that, it made a lot of sense. And then it kind of kicked something in me to make me start reading and understanding about these financial things and understand, like property before, like Dan said, you need 500,000 to buy this house. I ain't got that cash. Where am I getting?
I'm making £300 at Sainsbury's.
I'm working Saturdays at Sundays at Primark. Like, I'm not getting 500k from anywhere. But then you read about it and you understand that you don't need the 500k. You need a mortgage that would allow you to get this right. So then and all of these little intricacies to understand these things, that's what our parents missed out on, whereas we don't have to miss out. We don't have to lose on that opportunity. So that's what he means by it, Rich.
Okay. Yeah, I had a similar thought as well beforehand. But like, I mean, they were the first generation for most of us, isn't it? So their struggle, their battle was different. They've laid some foundations, and I guess it's on us to, take the battle and run with it.
Yeah. Do we think that they're gonna change the school like curriculum slightly to start involving like life skills anytime soon?
I am of the opinion, Mike, that I think it will begin to change. I think in seeing the shift in wider society away from, I guess, the rise of the right that we've seen in the last five years or so, I feel like society is slowly but surely becoming more, I wouldn't say softer, I'd say aware of feelings. It's very kind of, it's leaning towards the left, let's say. And I think that if you are looking to build a more harmonious society, you include these kind of softer sciences and things like that in a curriculum or in a community, in a country. So I think in time we'll probably start, even things like PHSE, that was like a new introduction for us when we were in school. And that's based on kind of the more softer side of humans, as opposed to raw numbers and politics and history. So I do think we're kind of leaning towards that. But I don't think we're there just yet. But
Getting there, but slowly.
I hope Dan's right. I hope Dan's right. But then even like when you say about PHSE, is that what it is? Is it PSHE?
Yeah,
PSHE.
Social health education.
Yeah, that thing. Like, if I don't know what the curriculum's saying now, but we went to school a very long time ago, innit? So I think they should have expanded from PSHE for now. So I think I agree with you in terms of it being more. I think you described it as leftist, kind of
left-leaning,
like this. But then I reckon, like, the cynic in me thinks that it's leaning more towards an outward portrayal of caring.
A more caring society.
You know, like the whole hashtag be kind and this sort of stuff, but yet you're still gonna diss a man the next day. But if you say be kind and why did you diss?
Done your bit.
You know what I mean? You done your bit, so it's not really like you're actually
it's
doing
optics
it.
thing. It might be like the Sainsbury's ad.
You know what I mean?
Are you really employing BAME stuff? I don't know.
Then I don't know. And also with the PSHD thing, I don't know the education system enough to know if what they've done to expand that or
that might be different now. So,
I would agree with you. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say I can't even remember what they were like teaching in that
in PSHE. I just remember a bit sex stuff, like
I just remember
in my head,
childbirth, how to put a condom on,
like
shit like that.
And you never listen.
Nope.
Well,
some of us did
it. I watch my kid coming now, like.
And this is the product.
I don't think I can't see them bringing in the financial education or literacy. You know, I really don't. I think we'll get loads more like. I think there will be this general trend of as Dan said, like a more empathetic society. We're more caring. There's less homophobia, less racism, more LGBTQ inclusion. But I think money is where a lot of people are cutting the line, blood. I'll be honest. We can include you in all of this, but you can't have more P than me.
No. The money conversation.
That's where it changes. That's power.
It's stronger than
it's mad
feelings, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope, man. I just doubt. So everything being said, I think teach your youths in it as parents when we're parents. Make sure you teach your youths these things, 100%. And get them on YouTube and all of that as well. But I don't see it.
It's an interesting one, man. It's interesting.
I don't see it, yeah.
Very right. What else was on the menu, man?
Dom, what's on the menu, mate?
Hey,
big up Armchair Gaffers.
I like it.
Come on,
guys.
Dan's already part of them, but a little video has dropped still. Done a little vacuum saltfish. So
let's go.
Yeah, I need to
plug.
Take that in.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Early bringing,
innit?
Come on, fam. Come on. We're gonna go for more.
I think we did.
I think. Thanks for coming on, Dom.
Love, bro.
Man.
What we need to do though is meet up in person. You get me?
Lockdown.
You get me?
Soon over.
Lockdown soon done.
2 drinks.
100%.
Come on.
Next.
That'll be a cold Christmas episode.
Next 2
episodes. Hey, decent Christmas dinner episode.
Yeah, that's a shout.
That's a shout. That'll actually be cold.
Like a pull up.
Yeah. It'll be live still. We've got to run that still. For allowed. Legally.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, love for coming on, Dom. That's what, episode 182.
182.
Good chat. Yeah, man. You know what it is. It's the Mandem podcast.
Keep it locked.
Bye, 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 bye.